tell you something else too. You niggas are stupid. You niggas, when you have babies and you go to the hospital, first of all, don't you know when your woman has a baby, she ain't supposed to be laying on a flat on her bed? When a woman is having a baby, she's supposed to sit squatting up.
She's not supposed to. She's supposed to have a midwife.
A midwife.
Not no doctor.
You in the goddamn hospital and another man is looking up in between your woman's legs. Bet
They're cool with that.
yeah, and you guys are all right with that. Now, back when the Pilgrims first came over here, up in Salem, Massachusetts, and they were so-called having the witch burnings, there was those women that they were burning, that they claimed were witches, were really midwives, and they would take them and they would accuse them of witchcraft, and they would kill them and burn them at the stake, because the white man was trying to do away with that whole midwife.
Push that medical.
And they were trying to push that pharmaceutical and push that medical system.
That was John
And that whole, do we have it in here yet? That medical, that symbol, that's a satanic symbol. Seduceus, that goes back to the Babylonian Empire. Okay?
I can add to what he said. That was John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller, so-called white man, a bastard, a devil, started that whole medical association in 1848. And he basically started out the AMA, the American Medical Association. And he basically started out to make money. It's all about making money. They don't give a shit about you and you. You gotta learn the elites don't give a fucking shit about you, man. The elites don't give a damn about you. That's why they created a 9/11. It was not created by some goddamn sand rat in the caves, you dumb, stupid nigger. It was created by your government. You dumb, stupid niggas.
First of all, you got no health care. First of all, we got a DVD, but you know what? We ain't gonna give it to you people, because you people, you deserve what you get. First of all, when you go to England, when you go to Europe, health care is free. You know that? Anywhere in Europe, you get free health care. That means you can just walk into a hospital. If you're having a baby, if you're sick, they take care of you, and then that's it. Dental. Over here in America, you don't have free health care. You go to the goddamn hospital for a headache or whatever it is, then they send you a bill for $200, and they don't even do nothing. You go to the emergency room, they make you sit in the goddamn emergency room for 2 hours.
2 hours.
For 2 hours or 3 hours, you sit in the emergency room all night long.
Right.
Then when they finally, the nurse, you don't even see a doctor.
Right.
You see the nurse. She take you in the room, pee in the cup, stick a needle in your arm, then send you home. Then send you a goddamn bill
For $1,000.
For $1,000, man.
That's why America's going to be destroyed. That's why America's going to be destroyed.
Alright, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Alright. What I'm going to do this video on is basically the medical industry today as we know it. Okay, and I'm gonna explain to you and show you a part of the so-called white man's history. Alright, the so-called white man, going back to a man named Edom Esau, that is your forefather, who you are the descendants of. So the so-called white people, majority of them are Edomites. Alright, and I'm going to show you a part of the history and basically how the medicine industry and everything that you know about medicine was set up, and how it's not actually anything to do with helping you. It's just having to do with getting your money, because they don't care anything about you. All right, they don't care about you. And this was inspired by a video from 2008 that the apostles, when they were out preaching, I believe Elder Yashawamba reposted it. All right, but they spoke on the subject briefly, and it inspired me to do some research, and then I'm going to share a little bit, you know, of what I found out researching a little bit. All right. So first of all, it all starts to do with this nigga John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller, this dude right here, you should know. He was the one who basically set up medicine today as we know it, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. All right, but this devil was the one who basically set up medicine as we know it. All right, one of the elites back then, and he's could be reincarnated today. Who knows? All right, but let me read. There's article basically on what I'm talking about now. Let me see where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start right here. It says people these days look at you like a weirdo if you talk about the healing properties of plants or any other holistic practices. Much like anything else, there's a lot of politics and money behind the modern medical system. And yet people do look like you at a weirdo if you talk about natural remedies, because they've been programmed their whole life to know nothing but that. Yeah, because this article we're gonna read is gonna tell you why. Because the whole medical system, all these doctors, they don't know anything. It says it all starts with John D. Rockefeller. All right. Now let me jump down to here. It says at the same time, now it's talking about by the turn of the 20th century, all right, he controlled 90% of all oil refineries in the U.S. So like it says at the same time, around 1900, scientists discovered petrochemicals and the ability to create all kinds of chemicals from oil. All right, that's basically what petrochemicals is. All right, they create chemicals from oils. It says, for example, the first plastic called Bakelite was made from oil in 1907. Scientists were discovering various vitamins and guessed that many pharmaceutical drugs could be made from oil. All right, now real quick, the word pharmaceutical, because you know you got a lot of pharmaceutical companies, CVS, Rite Aid, and all this stuff today. Well, if you ever look up the word pharmaceutical on the etymology online, because etymology deals with the root meaning of words, where words actually go back to. It says pharmaceutical from late Latin pharmacetius or pharmaceuticus. Slakia, probably pronouncing this wrong. It says of drugs from Greek pharmakia tikos. All right, from here, preparer of drugs, poisoner. All right, so all these pharmaceutical industries, all they're giving you is drugs and that poison you. All right, pharmacy, a medicine from Old French. Down here, from medieval Latin, and you can read it for yourself. I'm not gonna try to pronounce every single one. From Greek, use of drugs, medicines, potions, and spells. All right, so that's what the whole witchcraft. That's the point. That's what it is. That's what the whole pharmaceutical industry is. All these different CVS's and Rite Aids where you'll go and get drugs. The term drug doesn't even sound right. It's a drug. It's just made to keep you coming back on it, like crack or cocaine, but they just say it's medicine. You know. It's just as bad for you as those things, man, because it doesn't cure the remedies. You know, it just keeps you addicted to the drug, whatever medicine they give you, and it subdues the symptoms a little bit. But it's really nothing but it's really nothing but witchcraft. All right, it says potions, spells, poison. All right, that's all it is. Now let me go back. Where was I? Right. So we just read this paragraph, right? How scientists discovered that they could create chemicals from oils. This was a wonderful opportunity for Rockefeller, who saw the ability to monopolize the oil, chemical, and the medical industries at the same time. So this nigga obviously don't care about, he just cares about the money, man. The best thing about petrochemicals was that everything could be patented, sold for high profits. But there was one problem with Rockefeller's plan for the medical industry. Natural herbal medicines were very popular in America at the time. Almost half the doctors and medical colleagues in the U.S. were practicing holistic medicine using knowledge from Europe and Native American Indians. Alright, and it's probably mostly from the Native American Indians, a tribe of Israel going back to Gad, whom they came over here and slaughtered after they deceived them. Alright, because the Native American Indians are Israelites. You know, we're natural people. We know how to use the medicines from the earth. Alright, so just like how I believe when they came over here, they stunk so bad that we had to burn incense for them. I'm sure people that stunk that bad for damn sure didn't know how to, weren't smart enough to know how to heal themselves with with herbs and plants from the ground. So it says Rockefeller, the monopolist, had to figure out a way to get rid of his biggest competition. All right, being the natural herbs and medicines. So he used this classic strategy of problem, reaction, solution. That is, create a problem and scare people, and then offer a pre-planned solution. And jumping down here, this is where it all starts. So like you got a little sniffle. So right now we just read about the mind of this devil, what he wants to do. All right, now this is him actually acting it out. It says he went to his buddy Andrew Carnegie, another plutocrat who made his money from monopolizing the steel industry. So he went to another devil. It says who devised a scheme. From the prestigious Carnegie Foundation, they sent a man named Abraham Flexner to travel around the country and report on the status of medical colleagues in hospitals around the country. Now this right here, when they sent this dude, this was the main turning point. All right. After Abraham Flexner, after he went around the country and made a report, his report was called the Flexner Report. Now the Flexner Report, as you see, is a book-length study of medical education in the United States and Canada. So he went around the world and he basically gave a false report on the medicine in that age. He gave a false report on the medicine. All right, let's keep reading. It says, needless to say, the report talked about the need for revamping and centralizing our medical institutions. Based on this report, more than half of all medical colleges were soon closed, which I'm sure this Flexner report is still studied in school today as a great piece of art, great piece of work, because the whole education system is just founded on lies, and we're reading a part of their lies. Everything, the whole medical industry is just straight up lies, and we're reading how. You can't deny it after hearing this. All right. So they set up this dude, Abraham Flexner, John D. Rockefeller, and Andrew Carnegie. They set up Abraham Flexner to give a false report on medical colleges and hospitals around the world, which were using herbs and natural remedies back then. Homeopathy and natural medicines were mocked and demonized, and doctors were even jailed. So now the devil's plan is coming into fruit. After this fake report came, they started jailing doctors. I'm sure they were killing them who practice natural remedies like they're killing them today. Because I was looking at, herbal doctors who were killed, and there's a lot of YouTube videos on it. So I'm sure, just like how they're killing them today, they were killing them back then because they don't want them to bring the truth to how you're actually supposed to be healed. All right, which gonna lead me to my first scripture. Sirach 38:1. Honor physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord hath created them. For of the Most High, Salakia, cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of a king. Because you gotta believe in the Lord first and foremost in order for you to be healed. You can know all the herbs and drink the best water all you want, but if without faith, it is not gonna get you nowhere. It says, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Alright, so yeah, that's medicines out of the earth, meaning natural remedies. How does the Lord created, such as herbs, different plants, and you're not supposed to smoke them because we're not supposed to inhale smoke in our lungs. Alright, but this is what the Lord created to heal people. Alright, first and foremost, faith and prayer. Alright, but medicines out of the earth. Alright, it says, and he that is wise will not abhor them, But guess what? A lot of people in America, they do abhor them because the whole medical industry was set up to abhor them. Now you see why we call the so-called white man the devil, because as you see, he's doing his plan strictly against how the Most High set up things to work. This is why it's called the devil. He set up the whole medical industry against the ways of how the Lord actually has medicine, you know, plants and herbs. Well, this is why this is why the so-called white man is a devil. Look, it says, to help with the transition and change the minds of other doctors and scientists, Rockefeller gave more than 100 million to colleges, hospitals, and founded a philanthropic front group called General Education Board. I hate the English language. It says this is the classic carrot and stick approach. So look, man, after they sent this false report, you know, and after all the, I believe, where to say it? Yep, and after all the medical colleges were closed, he then what? He funded the medical colleges and hospitals. He refunded them, but with money and support to this fake medicine that they got, all these chemicals and stuff. All right, ridiculous. It says in a very short time, medical colleges were all streamlined and homogenized. All the students were learning the same thing, and medicine was all about using patent drugs. So that is what you have today. That is what you have today. This is the way how the American medical industry was set up. Again, it was just built on lies, had nothing to do with helping you. It just all about wanting your money, which 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Alright, now money is not the root of all evil. It didn't say money is the root of all evil. It says for the love of money. So the greed, the access, love of money is the root of all evil. And as you can see, why? Because this dude John D. Rockefeller, being the devil that he is, didn't care nothing about people. He put the whole American medical, he made a whole fake medical industry built on lies just to get money. And you know this took a while because it said he sent Abraham Flexner to travel around the country. So I'm not sure how long the Flexner report, how long he was going around the country to create it, how long it took, but I'm sure it took a few years. So obviously this devil got some patience, man. Got some patience. But alright, there's a few more, and then I'm gonna end it. This is yeah, right here. Scientists receive huge grants to study how plants cure diseases, but their goal was to first identify which chemicals in the plants were effective, and then recreate a similar chemical but not identical in the lab that could be patented. Alright, so all science today is about is chemicals from oils and chemicals from plants, but they don't cure you. They just suppress the symptoms, you know, and they keep you hooked on it because it's a drug. This is a pill for an ill. This is a pill for an ill became the mantra for modern medicine. So as you see, this nigga John D. Rockefeller, he set up the way modern medicine and the American Medical Association, he set up all that, alright, that you see today. That's why I got all these pills, alright, Tylenol, you know, and all these pills that you gotta that you take today. Alright, there ain't gonna be no pills in the kingdom. There ain't gonna be no needle shots in the kingdom, man. This is straight wicked. It says, so now we are 100 years later, turning out doctors who know nothing about the benefits of nutritional herbs and any holistic practices. We have an entire society that is enslaved to corporations for its well-being. Yeah, so that's God damn it, niggas. All right, yeah. So I gotta end it out. But that's the point. You know, this is how modern day medicine and all the education behind it was set up. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.